What?
What?
Oh no.
What did you?
We're back.
No, we're done, dude. It ended it.
Oh no.
What?
Did
Just
you
had,
not? You recorded the last thing, right?
I don't know if my internet crashed and I don't know how we get that if it's just gone.
it
Oh
should.
no. Well, it said recording stopped for us, and then you were gone, and then it said
Yeah, but it
recording
like my
started.
window
Yeah,
crashed and then it reconnected me. So I don't know if it's just gone or what.
it should have it.
Okay.
Yeah, you check your email.
All right. This is scary, you guys. You're either going to get an hour
I told you,
15
dude.
episode or you're going to get a 30-second episode of us going, "What the fuck just happened?"
Thank you very much for joining me. How you been? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Back. Steve Renazizi. I'm the guy. I'm the guy. Fucking lit. I'm the guy. Steve Renazizi. Lit. I'm the guy. I'm the guy. Fucking lit. I'm the guy. Steve Renazizi. What's the odds? What's the odds? What's the odds?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us again. It's Wednesday, November 30th, 2020. 2022, not 2020. Thank God it's not 2020 again. We can't have a fucking replay of that nightmare year. But thank you for joining us. Sorry we weren't here last week. It was Thanksgiving. We were all giving thanks for all the fucking joy that we have in our lives. For all we had a lot of joy in our lives, Brenton.
Why do you sound so angry saying that?
Because you laughed at me like
But you said it with no passion whatsoever. You're just angry like it's a thorn.
No, I mean,
We
look,
have all the joy.
We have
Look
joy.
at this joy. Sorry,
You
go
don't
on.
joy doesn't have to be
Continue.
like woo.
That's literally what joy is.
No, it doesn't.
Have you seen that Disney movie with the emotions? The joy characters all like, "Ooh, you're anger right now."
What about joyful tears? Tears of joy. You never heard of that? Tears of joy. Do you equate tears with being happy?
Still giggles.
No, normally
There's still giggles in that.
Tears of joy. It's because you're dead inside, dude.
What are you talking about?
And I don't know. It's like you have some sort of expectation. You have a little picture of what I'm supposed to be in your mind, the joyful people. This is what joy is. And everybody doesn't go into that little box, Brenton. We all don't fit inside your little box. It's tiny. Your box is a tiny box.
Well,
and we all don't fit inside of it.
Try harder,
I'm just saying. I'm happy for you, dude. First of all, I know you had a great Thanksgiving. I forgot that you were on the road and you were in Detroit watching the Bills.
Yeah.
On Thanksgiving. I completely forgot. I just thought you were at home getting ready for the fucking turkey parm subs to be made. So when I saw your picture posted later on that day, I was thankful for you because of the joy you must have felt in that victorious win, which should never have been that close, which you probably were nervous the entire time.
It's very stressful.
And you were saying to yourself, why did I do this? Why did I drag my fucking family to Detroit for all the places in the world? And let me tell you, I like Detroit. I've been there several times. I've had great times in Detroit. But look, if we're going to pick a place, unless you got a family member or a team you're rooting for, it's not Detroit's not the Thanksgiving destination capital of the world. So the fact that you were there, the fact that you had to sit through that I mean, it was a fun game to watch. I was happy for Detroit. It brought me back to the year of Hard Knocks Detroit, where they were fucking.
That was this year, Steve. That was earlier.
I'm on to the Cardinals.
That was 11 weeks ago.
That's not even a thing for me anymore. I'm on to the Cardinals now. So. I'm happy. They were competitive, dude.
Yeah, they were.
They were competitive.
Look,
and it was like a good football game to watch. I was worried early game, like this is going to be over by halftime, and we're going to be forced to be watching fucking soccer. Which look, and I have enjoyed soccer. We'll get to that later on. USA. I wore red, white, and blue. I wore red sweatpants, a white shirt, and a blue hat yesterday. But I didn't really, it's football's Sunday. At Thanksgiving, it's fucking football. So I was happy that the game was like people were interested in it. You know, people.
Mhm.
It was a competitive game. And I was sitting on the couch because it was the perfect timing. My birds were done. I was in charge of my bird on the Traeger, on the smoker. Got it on at 8:15 in the morning. Right, had a nice little 6.5 hour fucking 215-degree fucking smoke it out, super smoke that bitch to the hilt. Right, bound her up tight, like a fucking. She was like a little tight package. Right, injected her just with all this goodness, butter, garlic, fucking thyme, like Botox this whole thing up, rubbed her down with my special rub, and then threw her in there. Watched football. I mean, went out, played touch football with the two boys, with some buddies from high school, which I'll get to later on. I'm still sore. I am still sore from this, dude. I went 110%, but I'm still 110% sore. And then got back. Everything was like the bird was perfect. I took a shower, right? Settle down, watch the bill, and it's getting better and better. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I gotta go pull my turkeys done, pull it off, right, and let it sit. You let it sit for 45 minutes. So I'm letting it sit, and this game is getting better and better and better and better. And when the Lions hit the field goal, I think it was a field goal, right, to tie the game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The field goal, right? And how many seconds they leave on the clock? I think it was 20.
There were 27, I want to say.
Yeah,
Because
a little bit over 20.
when Josh took off on the first
I knew it was
two
in the
runs,
20s.
he had
Yeah.
13 seconds left, which
I knew it was in the 20s because
stuck out
at
to
this
the Bills
point,
section.
23.
23.
Okay.
Perfect. 23. At this point, my guests are there for about 40 minutes. We had invited everyone over at 3:00. Everyone shows up at 3 except for my brother, who shows up at 1. So he's 2 scotches deep. He's already vacuuming up the house. Like, you know, he was polite, but also like, you know, everyone's got an opinion on this game. 23 seconds left. I go, they're gonna win this game. The Bills are gonna win this game. My father-in-law goes, no fucking way they're gonna win this game. I go, you want to bet? They're gonna win this game. I go, they gave Josh Allen way too much time. Did he have all 3 timeouts? Or I knew he had a timeout. I think he had a couple.
He had a couple.
He had a couple, right? Right. And unlike
Yeah.
Jeff Saturday, they decided to use them.
Yeah.
So-
He had all 3. He had
all 3. I go, all 3 timeouts and Josh Allen, 23 seconds, guaranteed. I'm telling you right now. And, you know, everyone was shit talking a little bit. It was fun to watch. And then the first pass to Stephon Diggs. I know that fucking play. Because Joan is beating me in Madden every single week. We have these great games until he starts to run this Ohio offense where there's just this fucking big gap in the middle, and you just get a talented wide receiver to get a good slant on, get a good angle, and fucking a great quarterback. Josh Allen just fucking fired that in there. Brenton, your little boner must have been fucking so hard when that pass was completed, right?
It was very exciting. Yes.
I mean, Stephon, that was like a 45-yard pass, right?
Yes.
On the first play.
But I will say, while that was going on, there was a pretty aggressive fight going on right behind us. We were in the very back row. I don't know if you've ever been to Ford Field.
Never.
We were on the lower bowl, very back row that feeds into like the concessions and the thing. And we were sitting right in front of, so above us, like just above our heads, we're the back row. Then there's a row of chairs that's like the handicap and then the standing room people. And there was the loudest Lion fan. And then and his daughter, and she screamed the whole game. Cassie hated her. And then there were 3 younger people, also Lions fans. One dude got so drunk at one point, they were folding chairs. He fell out of his chair and the whole chair like flipped and folded up. The 2 girls there, they spilled beer on me and my friend. And then there were some Bills fans on the other side of them. It just got really aggressive. And at one point, a fist fight broke out while all this was happening.
Now, the fist fight was between a Bills fan, I assume, and a Lions fan, not just 2 disgruntled Lions fans, correct?
Yes, correct.
So all this is happening. So you are trying to keep one eye on the game, trying to keep one eye on what's happening behind you in case you got to get involved, right?
Yes.
So wow. I mean, look, on Thanksgiving,
But
you gotta think about it,
if
though.
you
These
the
people-
photo I posted,
think about it.
By the way, the photo I
Go ahead.
posted, if you go on my Instagram and look at it, you'll see
It
the
looks
drunk girl
beautiful.
I'm talking about. She's the one who spilled the beer on us. So just above us, she's making like a face in the
Oh,
photo.
really?
And then it's the dude right above my dad's shoulder, the far left, that has like a blank stare. He's the one who fell out of his chair and then got into a fight with some Bills fan while all this is happening.
Well, you think about it, dude. First of all, this game's in Detroit every single year. So this is not something special to them. This is not something like we got to be on our best behavior. We don't know when we're going to get this thing back. It's like it's going to be here again next year.
Yeah.
We're going to get fucking
they've got
hammered
nothing
again.
to lose.
Yeah. And so,
if they win the game,
exactly.
Great. If they lose the game, their draft pick gets better.
And really, they put up it was a great game. I don't know what's to be upset about if you were a Lions fan. I mean, you really went toe-to-toe with one of the better teams, the top, 10% teams in the league. And so you got to feel good about it. I mean, I know these are not wins, and I know they go down as losses, and your record is – and I bet you Campbell probably will get fired. Probably.
No.
No.
There's no way he's getting fired. They got to give him
think
at least
so?
They're going to give him at least one more year. They're building. It's going in the right direction.
I mean, it is going in the right direction. I just don't know what they fired what's his name?
I know,
Who's the
but
black coach they had, and they
they
got rid of him after he made the playoffs.
If they fire Dan Campbell, then if you're a Lions fan, it's time to pick a new team because they're never going to be good. If they make that decision, he's got the team going and they're playing hard for him. They're going to have so many draft picks and they have cap space next year. They're going to be a very good team if they get some secondary pieces.
Steve, that coach was Jim Caldwell.
Jim Caldwell, yeah. I mean, they fired after he made the playoffs. They fired him, right?
Yeah.
Dude, by the way, so did Flores. Didn't the Miami make the playoffs last year? Oh no, they didn't.
No. They won on.
They had a winning record and they
run.
beat Belichick twice.
They won like 8 in a row, but they didn't make the playoffs because they started like 1-6 or whatever it was.
No, again, I think Dan Campbell's like probably if you voted, he would probably be the most favorite coach amongst players, but that's not who gets to fucking decide.
I think you still got to give him one more year. And if they start out like 0-5 next year, then he's definitely ripe to be fired. But
dude, and you know what? They ran into Superman. Like they ran into Josh Allen, who used his superpowers.
I have opinions.
And the problem is
I have opinions about that. I think his
secondary.
His elbow is still hurting him, and look, the deep throws, they were good. But the short and intermediate stuff, like he was very inaccurate the whole game, and that caused some turnovers. And in the third quarter, he had James Cook as a check down. It's 3 yards away from him. He misses him by 6 yards, and that's almost an interception. And if the Lions picked that off, it bounced right in front of the guy and into his arms, and it was called an interception initially. If that holds and the Lions score there, that's a very different game. So I think hopefully his elbow gets better. He wasn't wearing a brace this week and he wasn't limited, which he had been the previous 3 weeks. And we get some weapons back on defense. Tre'Davious White played 15 snaps and Rousseau was out. We lost Von Miller, but fortunately not for the whole season. The defense is hurting right now. Like we just haven't had a full defense since week 2. If they can get healthy and Josh Allen's good, great. But if Josh Allen's still missing those throws, like the short stuff, I don't care about the long stuff. He can make that in his sleep. But the short stuff, that's going to kill them because defenses are scheming to have him check down.
I think all I'm saying in crunch time, he looked like he was healthy and focused and knew what he had to do. And so, I mean, the rest of the game wasn't his best game. And he's had a couple of not great games. And
but I think that's because of the elbow.
Yes, I really think the elbow is much more of an issue.
It's got to be hurting him.
And they're pulling a Bill Belichick where you're hearing nothing come out of there that's like, oh, there's an injury or that he's done a questionable or anything. It's nothing. You're not going to hear about, unless Josh Allen's elbow falls off, you're not going to hear about it till the end of the year, till their season is over is what I mean.
Yeah.
So.
But we were also without Mitch Morse, starting center, and then Deion Dawkins, who's out again this week. So it sucks how many injuries, like key injuries they've had. They're still playing good football, but this obviously isn't the team that we saw at the start that we were all excited about. And now like they're literally fighting for their playoff lives because everything's so tight at the top. is if they can just get healthy, if they can get healthy right before the playoffs, then I'm going to feel really good about it. But if injuries keep piling up, then I don't know if this is the year, because Josh can't do it all himself. And I think most people think if they win or lose, it's on him. But it's like, if you're missing all these pieces, he can't do anything. But I will say, credit to Detroit. They've been shutting down the run game pretty good the last few weeks after being like the worst. They've been solid.
And at home, they are a good team at home. They play well at home.
Yeah.
You know?
And they're playing.
So you're saying about the draft picks.
They're playing Jacksonville at home this week.
And that's only what, a 1-point spread?
What's Betty's? I have it at.
I mean, looking at the Lions draft too, they have the 3rd and 13th overall picks right now. Plus, you got to figure they had a top 10 pick this last year that hasn't even played.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's his name?
Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
So they have 3 first-round picks. That haven't
imagine
played.
You know, you get another.
Putting
You get
Jameson Williams on the other side of St. Brown.
Yeah, I mean, and you get two defense. You get a defensive lineman to go along with Aiden Hutchinson, or a linebacker, and a top-notch corner safety guy to shore up
corner
that
and
back.
safety help. And then, you know,
Yeah.
if you don't believe that Jared Goff is the guy, I think Jared Goff is serviceable. I think he's like a Jimmy Garoppolo type where you could build everything else and he could win games for you. He's been to the Super Bowl. But if you don't believe that he's the guy, you can still get one of those top-tier quarterbacks next year.
He might be the perfect rebuilding quarterback.
Yeah.
Because he's still good enough to play, but you're not like wasting someone's fucking career. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not like in Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? You're not like, oh, this is the last fucking, like we got like we're trying to squeeze the last bit out of somebody here. So yeah, I mean they are a real happy, pleasant surprise. I really wish they had a couple better, like, you know, I mean, obviously they beat the Giants, but if they pulled out a couple of those wins, you know, they would be one of those teams that's like the 6-5, you know, teams that are hanging around Seattle's and stuff that could be, you know, vie for a
they're
last
not
spot.
out of the playoff picture yet. It's not impossible.
Mathematically, they're not, but it is an uphill battle. I'll tell you, they got an easier fucking road to hoe than Washington or the Giants. The Giants have a real tough one, because then we moved on to the Giants Cowboys, which is, I guess, now the most watched regular season game in history. It's like 44 million people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, for the most part, it was a competitive game, but I never really felt like we were 100% in it. You know, the first quarter was pretty good, you know, 10-3. After 10-3, though, it was just sort of all downhill after that. Look, we're injured. We got the same problems. People are injured. Can't get everybody on the field at the same time. Evan Neal, you know, Thibodeau has been pretty good so far in spurts, but I haven't seen him really like be a difference maker at all. I love to see that before the end of the year, like have him have like I thought maybe this would be a game where he would step up and have like a 2-sack or a turnover game, you know, maybe a Micah Parsons kind of game. You know, it didn't happen. And you know, like overall, I'm kind of disappointed. This was the one I was like, I really hope if we can win this game, we have a real shot at doing something. You know, maybe something. Now it's like it's going to be tough to make the playoffs, dude. I think I mean,
definitely regressed.
And here's how I know it's bad. And this is not even a shameless plug, but here's how I know it's bad. Because on Sunday of the Thanksgiving week, I get an email from my agent that go bananas. This coming weekend where I was, and now I'm going to use supposed to be, is right next to the Meadowlands where the Giants are playing the Washington Commanders. And this game obviously is so important. The Giants have rented out all the rest of the rooms in the hotel where the comedy club is, and the comedy club for film sessions.
You got bumped by your team?
I got bumped by the Giants.
Well,
so
let me ask.
I feel terrible. I wanted to go. I was excited about going.
Hang on a second.
I'll read you the email.
No. But do you still get paid?
I got moved to another date, and they're going to give me a little. I know.
Okay, they better give you something because that's your livelihood.
I know. Trust me.
They can't just
Now
do
the
that
Giants
to artists,
playing
Steve.
poorly
We're
is
artists.
fucking me personally. Had they won that game, I don't think we're getting an all hands on deck, everybody meet in the comedy club for fucking film session meeting.
Yeah.
If they won that game versus the Cowboys, we would have. I think I would have been doing my shows this weekend.
You should be getting tickets to that game. You should get all access passes. You should be on the field.
I said I wanted to go and just talk to the Giants. Like look, give me let me come pick up my cash and then just tell me what I want to talk to him. I got some ideas. I'm loving what Dable's doing, but I think we gotta.
Yeah, you definitely have your coach, but my God, that wide receiver room. I talk about Bill injuries, but like, my God.
I mean, we bring up a
Everybody.
guy from the practice
And
squad.
didn't-
He
by the
tears
way,
his ACL.
we didn't
We've
get
had
to-
4 rookies tear their ACL.
We didn't get to talk about this because of
4.
last week, but how great is it that Kadarius Toney goes to Kansas City? He has like one great week and then he's hurt again.
And then I don't ever. Like I said, I don't want anyone to be injured.
I don't root for injuries, but
I saw him on
that
the list, and
guy.
I was like, you know what? Have at it, Kansas City.
yeah, they were so
We'll get
pumped.
that. We'll take that draft pick, and we'll like it. No,
I just can't be on the field. He's so good,
The
but he just
score-
can't be on the field.
The score of the Giants game made it seem like it was closer than it really was. It really wasn't a
Yeah, it
one-touchdown game.
wasn't a competitive game after the third quarter.
I mean, Dak threw a couple interceptions. He had 2 or 3. I think he had 2 interceptions. So, we had opportunities, but we get in these third and long situations, and when they know we have to pass, it is a real tough fucking situation, especially not having the offensive line be what Evan Neal I think was out, and so
not having the offensive weapons. I think that's a huge
anyone
deal.
to throw to.
I just hope that Giants fans are patient with Daniel Jones because he's got the skill set and the size that Dable wants. And
I like it, dude.
I think you need to stick with him because he can run. He has a good arm, but he has no one to throw to. I mean,
look, where are we going to find 6'5" guy mobile? I would even classify him as mobile. He's not a running quarterback. He's not Lamar, but he's mobile.
Yes,
with a good arm, right? And I know I can't believe I'm saying this about him, but like now with a system that he understands, trusts, and is willing to and is syncing with. Yeah, I mean, this is where are you going to find that in the draft? With already by the way, you find it in the draft, you don't have the 4 years of experience of getting knocked around like he has, unless you fell in love with someone in the draft that you were like, look, this is our if Dable was or Schoen was this is our guy. I don't know how we pass this guy up. This is our Brett Favre. This is our Patrick Mahomes, whatever. I don't know. But if it's Daniel Jones next year, based on what I've seen so far, let me just put it this way. I have not seen many games this year. I don't even think I can think of one game off the top of my head that he specifically has cost us. That his decision-making and/or has cost us the game. I really don't. It may have been a physical error here or there. Maybe, but nothing where it's what the fuck was he thinking? And we had plenty of those last year, and you could tell now. It probably was because of the different systems he was running, and the coaching carousel that he had to live through. Notice how we're not even calling it a coaching carousel anymore. This guy, he's only coached 10 games, and he's good. People are talking about coach of the year for sure, candidate. It's not, I think that even if I don't know. If he doesn't make the playoffs, if the Giants don't make the playoffs, and that is a real it could happen. Then it's a disappointing season, I would think, based on if the last team gets in at 9-7 or 9-8, I think it's got to be 9-8, 9-8. Fuck, dude. Because if we went 7-1 or 7-2 to start the season off, you can't win 2 more fucking games in the last 9 or in the last 8. You can't win 2 games. So, and I granted that the competition's tougher. But yes, this is not a must-win week, but we have to win one of these games against the Commanders. Got to win one of them. You go both down to the Commanders, then you got to beat Philly twice. You got to split 4 games with Philly and the Commanders, I think. You got to go 2-2 in those 4 games. 2 more wins gets us to 9. And then if we could sneak one out against, because you're probably not going to beat, we got another tough team. It's not the Colts. I know we have the Colts, but we have one more tough team. Is it the 49ers? I don't know it might be the Niners.
It is the Vikings
The Vikings.
on Christmas
Chances
Eve.
are we're not.
Easy win.
Yeah, we're not beating the Vikings.
Merry Christmas to the
unless they
Rainies.
don't show up like they did to Dallas. But on Christmas Eve, I got to live through another fucking family meal of embarrassment. So so you got to go 2-2 against those 4 games, and then and then maybe as a cherry on top, you beat the Colts, who are not an easy team to fuck. Like they're playing better. Except for the fact that, I think that was look, you hired a coach who never coached above high school.
We got to give more credit to his assistant coaches.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I'm sure Jeff Saturday probably walks in there and he's getting guys motivated and he's saying the right things, but he doesn't know what he's doing. It's the assistant coaches that are putting together their game plans and patching everything up. And then when it was on Jeff's shoulders this last game, we saw it. He didn't know how to manage the clock, and he cost them probably a chance at winning that game. So the fact that they've been competitive, credit to the people around him, and the fact that, let's not forget, the Colts were a Super Bowl contender. He has all the talent there.
But which
fucked that
which
game
assistant
up.
coach didn't tell him to call a timeout?
I mean, it's on everybody.
Which one of these fucking geniuses didn't
It's
say,
on
hey,
everybody.
man.
But Steve, you're right. You're right in what you're saying. Somebody upstairs should have been like, hey, man, call a timeout. And maybe they were, and maybe he was ignoring it. Maybe they weren't, and they didn't do their job. But Jeff is not an NFL coach, and he shouldn't be in that position. And he cost them that game.
I mean, look, I don't know. They didn't run out of time. I'll say that. So it's not like they didn't. The clock management was terrible. After the
play
sack,
calling and the clock management was.
I
Very
guess you still got 49 seconds. Then they got a quick play together, and it fucked up, but it ended up working out where Ryan runs for 18 yards and gets down right before that. But that's where you got to call the timeout.
Yeah.
Reset.
Even if
you have the
get a
next
better play
ready to go,
and then the next call is
by the
another
way,
run.
I mean, everyone in the world knew you were going to run to Jonathan Taylor. Why don't we? Everyone in the world is. Why don't we throw the ball? Why don't we? What's our best play off of when everyone thinks we're going to run the ball to Jonathan Taylor? What's our best play?
Jelani Woods was wide open that whole game. Run a play action, get him out in the flat there, and
dude,
get out of bounds.
Fucking
Pittman
run an RPO.
Passes over everybody.
Matt Ryan is 6'5".
He can't run an RPO.
If he gets tackled and falls forward, that's the first down, dude.
I know, but he's not running an RPO. He can do a play action rollout to the tight end, and you're probably picking up 15 yards, and you call a timeout. But
anything's better than fucking letting the whole world know you're going to run the ball and having the defensive lineman behind the running back break through and tackle him from behind the line of scrimmage, dude.
Yeah, it was poor. It was very poor game management, but that's what you get. You hired a guy who has no experience.
But look, I'm not ready to throw the guy
and he always,
under the bus.
He always looks like he's wearing eye makeup. It's weird.
What'd you think was going to happen? No, he's got beautiful, passionate eyes, dude. So, and they're probably really sad. So yeah, we got to beat the Lions. I mean, we got to beat the Colts when we get them.
Yeah.
And then this is a big week. This is like at home.
This is a massive week for both of our teams. We've got the Patriots.
Yep. This is huge. So it's everything, dude. It's like I want the Giants to go at this game like Christian Pulisic went at the goalkeeper for Iran yesterday. Which I watched the game. I was into it. I'm into these games. I watch the American games, and then I'll watch the fucking other guys. It's so crazy to me, like even in every sport, when you're like, I know a couple names, and I'm like, why do I know these names? And then I watch an Argentina game, And it's like, this is fucking, everyone's moving the ball around. It's like a chess match. And then all of a sudden, Messi just gets the ball and just fucking blasts one. And you're like, oh, that's why I know these people. Because they're the ones that score the goals. The penalty kick, they give it to Ronaldo. He fucking puts it right in the back. Like, these guys are the stars for a reason.
By the way, he pulled something out of like his crotch and ate it. I don't know if you saw that video. How do I enable? Let me.
It was his dick, dude.
He didn't.
He has a fake dick that he eats when he scores a goal. That's the new no, he does a dance move, doesn't he? My kids do it. You talking about Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Talking about Ronaldo. Lucas knows what I'm talking about. If you can find it, I think I enabled.
Doesn't he do like a?
No,
like
he goes. He's like digging.
Fucking...
He's like digging for something, and then he pulls out a treat and he eats it.
Oh.
Yeah,
I gotta see this. I thought you're talking about his dance move. It looks like he grabs his crotch.
No. It's some weird. I don't know if anyone's explained what he was doing yet, but he's in there.
What the fuck?
He is in there,
dude. All right, is that a still? Oh wait, everyone's doing it.
Yeah, so I don't know that is a still, but there's a video that exists somewhere. I just saw it on Twitter this morning. Where he's in there. He's in there. He's digging around a bit, and then he comes out. There's something, and then it's just in the mouth and down the gullet.
Oh man, maybe
I don't know if he has like another little pocket in there, and he's keeping something warm.
Warm, dude. That's the heat warm. That's the fucking human warmer right there. Dude, when you hear these guys scream and go to the ground, and then they do the slow mo. Like soccer has to there's two things about the video that caught up with soccer. It's like, how do you possibly get away? Like, these guys are falling down, and then the slow motion replay, you realize they didn't even get hit, they didn't even get touched. This is all like a fucking and flopping in basketball, and it's like, this is what it's turned into. So now they have no repercussions for fucking faking it. They really don't. But what I do like about soccer is, did you see how they have like a crew of fucking people?
Yeah.
What did he pull?
I don't know.
Do it again.
That's the $1 million question is, what was he eating?
Oh,
because that's a man that's worth $500 million. He owns a private island. What special little supplement?
Steroids?
Yeah. What special little supplement was he putting in his body?
It's probably like a baby's hand or something. Like no one could know about it, so he has to keep it in his because it's terrible. Do you see what soccer does with replays? It's like it happens like boom. Like there was a goal that America scored. They thought it was offsides. They call it. They just keep playing, and the guys are just like, bip, bip, bip. There's like 10 guys in the computer, like, boop, 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 and that's it.
Well, they did
nope,
that.
Good to go. Keep going.
They did that as well.
Why don't we have that in the NFL? Why don't we have
we
that?
should, and hopefully
10 guys.
Hopefully Goodell is watching
the play
this.
Was good.
Hopefully Goodell's watching this, and they'll learn from that, and they'll be better next year. But there was also that play where Iran thought they had a penalty kick near the end of stoppage time.
Yeah.
They let it play through, and then they went back and reviewed it and said, nope.
No, but they thought it was a handball. Yeah, but it slipped up his fucking arm. I don't know anything about the Netherlands. I'm sure they're much better than us or ranked higher than us, but I'm glad they made it out of the, it would have really fucking blown to have 3 draws and go home. It's like you're trying to get everyone's dick hard here in America for soccer. It's like 3 draws and we're out of it is not going to do it. So
bunch of nothing games.
My point was like, everyone's been talking about Pulisic as being, or I don't know how you say his name, but I think it's Pulisic, being like, this is the guy. And I'm like, these are the situations where the guy has to come up big. And I'm glad that he did. I'm happy for the fact that he did. I think it's good for him. I think it's good for obviously the game. And it was good for everyone. We like this shit. America, we everyone. I'm seeing bars on Long Island having parties. You'll never see another soccer thing happen again for 4 years. But, it's nice that when it comes around, I think it's like, it's like the Olympics, but it's more fun. I think this is like, because it's only one thing you got to root for America for, and then everyone has their own loyalties. I had no idea Italy's not in it. Did you know that?
Yeah.
They're like a powerhouse in this fucking thing. What the hell happened over there? But speaking of Italy, I've been watching that Stanley Tucci show. Oh my God. On CNN, where he eats his way through Italy. Holy fuck, dude. Has anyone? Have you been there? I gotta
No.
get there, dude. I got it.
You've
Between
never
that,
been to Italy?
no, never.
Aren't you the definition of Italian American?
My brother lived in Italy for like 7 years.
At the
But
Vatican?
those were my poor
Yeah,
years.
what are you doing?
I couldn't afford to go to Italy. What am I, a fucking?
But you've
What did
been
I win,
able
$1 million?
You've been able
on
to
my friend's
afford
podcast.
You've been able to afford to go for a decade now. Do you hate your family?
No, but we're gonna go. And between
Okay.
the White Lotus and this now, it's like I'm getting jammed with Italy left and right. Are you watching White Lotus?
I watched the first season. We haven't watched the second season. But isn't that in Hawaii? Why are you talking about White Lotus in Italy?
That's why you haven't watched the second, because it's not. They're not gonna go back to fucking Hawaii, dude.
Are they in Italy
If I'm
now?
Mike White. Let's talk about this Mike White, and then we'll talk
Okay.
about the other Mike White.
Okay.
If I'm Mike White of White Lotus, Mike White, and White Lotus in Hawaii, you're probably thinking this thing's like one-off, boom, right? But you have some ideas for season 2, but you're like, we'll see how big of a hit it is. It does pretty well. Jennifer Coolidge is fucking great, standout star. Everyone kind of likes it. HBO goes, we're going to do it again. Great. Oh, this time we're going to Italy, to Sicily, dude, to like
Interesting.
this fucking pristine, gorgeous, like European, like on the water. It's unbelievable, dude. It's unbelievable. And this hotel is brand new that they're shot at, that the whole season takes place in, is brand new. It's only been open a year and a half. They just closed for the season. And next year, all the Americans have booked it up for the whole fucking year.
Wow.
The whole year. The whole season's booked up. So it's unbelievable, dude. It's ridiculous. So between that and fucking Baldy Tucci running his yap up and down, drinking wine. Every meal has wine. This is the place, like, I'll enjoy it. Walk a little bit, cheese a little bit, wine a little bit, walk a little bit, I'm into this.
My wife's parents went a couple of years ago, and they said, like, you get a whole bottle of wine that's the best wine you've ever had in your life, and it's $2. Like, there's all these little pop-up bodega type mom and pop places, and it's just cheese, bread, wine, salami, and it's all super cheap.
I mean, I've had expensive like $1,000 bottles of wine, and then I've had like shit that I can't even like. I mean, I'll drink cheap shit if it's good. I'll drink anything. The only thing I can't stand is if it tastes like vinegar. I've had a couple wines where I'm like, you guys are this is a hustle. Yeah. This is terrible. This is fucking balsamic vinegar you're fucking trying to serve someone here. It's really bad. But no, dude, it's that Stanley Tucci show, discovering it. I don't know how, I don't know who gave him money to go fucking eat his way through Italy, but what a job, dude. It was unbelievable. So yeah, between those two things, and I've been trying to so now I'm like trying to eat a little, because I got to lose some weight. I got to try. I'm doing salads, and I'm trying to do what's it when you intermittent fasting. So I only eat between noon and 8 p.m. Everything else shut down. I feel great. It's been since Sunday.
It's a little bit of a grimace in that.
No, I feel so far so good. I mean,
Okay.
I'm really doing pretty good with it so far.
Okay, good.
I'm down 3 pounds. So how do I look?
You look focused.
Strong, dude, right?
You look focused.
I feel good. Feel strong.
Good.
Yeah. So what else? Do we want to do?
Miguel Cabrera is going to retire.
Yeah, I know.
So we got one more year of watching one of the best hitters of all time.
Yeah, I mean, between Pujols and Cabrera, that whole generation, like those were the fucking those were the guys.
The beautiful swings.
Unbelievable. I mean, those were like before exit velo and all that shit. Those guys were just like hitting machines. Yeah, they might like some years they get 40 plus home runs, but most years they were in the 30s, but they still hit like 335 and at 100 and something RBIs when those things counted. So, and by the way, are you excited or are you getting ready at all for the World Baseball Classic? Because that is coming soon too.
I don't even really bother.
That starts in March. Not like
if it's on, I'll watch it, but it's not even close to as exciting as like the Little League World Series. So it's just not something that I get pumped for.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
there's
don't-
no like baseball tournaments or anything like that. And this like broke down by country. Is baseball in the Olympics? I don't even think it is.
They left the Olympics.
Yeah.
So did softball because of the World Baseball Championship. So
Yeah.
it'd be
So,
better if it
I
was
mean,
just in the Olympics.
But yeah, no, I just saw what's his name? Nestor Cortez just got added to the WBC pitching staff. So as an American, even though he's born in Cuba, but he was raised in America. So I guess he wasn't good enough to make the Cuban staff. That's how fucking good the Cuban staff's gonna be.
Yeah.
Nestor Cortez got fucking left off. Let's talk about Mike White for a second. And I'm happy for this guy. Another Mike White I'm happy for. Because you go out, you don't try to do too much, you don't try to be a fucking hero. You just get the ball off and on time, and good things happen. Give it to a couple playmakers, and good things happen. You know, move the ball down the field, and good things happen. Don't try to do too much, and good things happen. Everybody likes this guy. They put up, a good amount of points. I mean, I don't know one game where I don't know that much about Zach Wilson's whole career, but has he had a 300-yard game? I don't think so.
He's had to have had a 300-yard game.
Pull him up.
Yeah, I'm looking.
I don't think he probably has.
No, because he had some big games with Corey Davis and then Elijah Moore last year.
He's had one. He's had one.
There you go. Okay.
One, Brenton.
Okay.
And how many starts? 15, 20 starts?
I'm
maybe over the
not
course?
defending the guy like he's good, but I knew that he had at least one. He's not good. That's why he got benched. He's the problem, which is
I'm not
so hilarious. You saw him say, "I'm not the problem." He's literally the problem. And they plug in Mike White, and guess what? You were the problem.
I didn't see any of the game. What was his demeanor on the bench? Was he like up and cheering and rooting and running around? Or was he like sulking and like being a cunt? I mean, I'm sure he wasn't, but if he was, it's like, come on, guy.
I watched the Sunday Ticket, the replay, and they just cut, so it's just the plays. So I did not see. I'm sure you could go online and find some reactions of him on the bench, but yeah, they didn't show him at any point and talk about him. And if they did, it was cut out of their cut down of the game. It's literally just the plays.
I fucking hate DirecTV. I cannot wait. I'm counting down the
Yeah,
weeks till this fucking thing is over.
Very excited that it's going to be somewhere else next year.
Oh man.
And it could still be just as bad, maybe even worse, but at least we have
How could it be worse?
I don't know. It could be.
How?
I mean,
you don't think Jeff Bezos is gonna
the whole thing could crash for the week, and then instead of getting a refund, they could just say, "Hey, go fuck yourself."
Question for you. Here's a good question. Do you think Jeff Bezos would rather buy the Washington Commanders or get the NFL Sunday Ticket contract for the next 10 years?
Well, here's the thing. He wants the Commanders.
I don't think you can do both.
Steve, he is no longer CEO of Amazon, so that does not affect him. It affects his stock, what he has left.
You don't think he's on the board?
I'm sure he's on the board, but
you don't think
he would rather own the team.
Someone's going to raise their hand and say there's a conflict of interest. You don't think like Jerry Jones or whoever else is going to be like, wait, why is the NFL only buying my oil? Why are we letting this guy buy a team and then handing him $1 trillion probably over a 10-year fucking period in revenue? Right? You don't see collusion in that? You don't think any of these fucking guys are going to call collusion on the fact that Bezos could get a contract that, let's face it, the day after this fucking NFL contract's over,
that was the
DirecTV's
case,
gonna fold.
Yeah,
it's going to fold like a fucking...
Absolutely.
They'll
be bought up by someone else. Maybe Amazon will buy them up. Who knows?
Probably. What is it going to be worth? Who wants a fucking satellite on their roof?
Well,
the only reason anyone stood up for that is for people that I don't know, live in the way out woods who cable people won't even bring the cable to, or people that like the NFL that wanted to get fucking the NFL packages and be able to watch all the games.
Yeah.
Sports bars kind of fucked it up, but like now it's like, let me tell you, People will love their house. I told my kids, I go, you're going to see next year, all the games will be on one screen.
Well, when I was in Chicago for the Thursday night game, it was very interesting because that's on Amazon now. The bar wasn't playing it because I don't know if bars have the rights. I'm sure some bars were playing it, but you got to have an Amazon Prime account now. So they had a bunch of college sports and other things. There were no football games
Nobody
on.
could fucking hand out their free Amazon password to one of these cunts.
So
Give me a fucking break,
That's
dude.
a bit of a worry that if everything goes all these different places, kind of like all these streaming services we have now, we're not going to be able to watch every game because we're going to have 14 subscriptions to something.
Dude, I told you with my mom when Aaron Judge was chasing the home run record, and she called me, she goes, where's the game? I go, it's on Apple TV tonight. And she's like, that's it? And I was like, yeah, that's it. Unless you have that, which nobody fucking probably did at that time.
Yeah.
It's like, give me a break. So look, it's all going to be better than DirecTV. It's all going to be better. But I'm telling you, I don't think is he not on the board of directors of his own company? You know, is he not like any affiliation with, he's just stockholder only?
I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah, dude.
So he would leave the board. He's going to want to buy the team.
No. I'm saying he could buy the team and still be on the board of Amazon. There's no reason, or own Amazon. I'm just saying, I don't think he can own Amazon and then buy the Commanders and also get the NFL Sunday ticket package or whatever they're going to sign, because that's collusion.
Yeah, if that's the case, then I think he would leave the board to own the team. He wants to own the team.
He has 4 positions on the board.
Yeah. Oh my God. So I'm happy for Mike White.
Yeah, and his look.
I think going forward, it's his job to lose.
Yes, and Jets fans need to. He's not. He played a great game, but he's not a proven quarterback yet. So that was Chicago. Let's keep in mind they got rid of their 2 best pieces on defense.
And also,
you were at home.
No, Justin Fields, who's probably Chicago's best.
So you don't have the pressure of shit, Justin Fields just drove down the field. I got to score again this drive. That was kind of off his shoulders. But he's got Minnesota next, and then Buffalo's going to be a tough test. That's in Buffalo, so that'll be a tough test if he still has the job. But then he gets Detroit, Jacksonville, and Seattle. So he has a pretty favorable schedule to get them into the playoffs. And if he does that, I mean, what happens to Zach Wilson?
How great is it that I'm going to have to root for Mike White last week of the year against Seattle?
Yeah.
So that the Giants can get into the fucking playoffs.
Well, you got to take care of business yourself. Mark my words, that's going to be
the situation. No, trust me. That's if we take care of our business.
Yeah.
But if we take care of business, and it may still come down to Seattle at 9-8 and us at 9-8, or coming into a situation where that we're going to lose a tiebreak because we lost to them. So I may need fucking Mike White to step up, White Lotus style, and give me a fucking win.
Yeah, I got to watch that. I didn't realize it was in Italy. That sounds fun.
It's
after the first season ended, I was like, how do they bring it back to this place after the guy shits in a suitcase and then gets murdered?
I thought the same thing too, but it's good. It's
Sorry
different.
if I just spoiled that for everyone who didn't watch it, but
nice job, dude.
Yeah.
Nice job.
It's still worth watching. You don't know what I'm talking about if you haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it's fucking coming up to Christmas already. I got to do this fucking Christmas.
I'm just looking at my list. We got the ornaments on. The decorations are up.
Oh, I got it all up now, dude.
Jesse got lit on eggnog last night, and we were hanging ornaments and having a good time. And Rogue's just watching, waiting for her moment to tear the whole tree down.
How's that going, by the way? Have you had any tree incidents since?
Just one light bulb. She got one light. That's it so far. Oh, and she tore. There was a handmade ornament that she tore the ear off of. But other than that, we're doing good. We're trying our best.
How is it flying in and out of Detroit? Was it a nightmare?
I flew in and out of Cleveland, so it was not bad at all.
Oh, how far is it drive Cleveland to Detroit?
My parents are in Ohio, so where they are, they're in Huron, next to Cedar Point in Sandusky. The amusement park.
Got it.
They're the little town next to that, so it's like from Cleveland to Huron is 45 minutes, and then from Huron to Detroit is maybe just under 2 hours.
So did you guys have Thanksgiving dinner at your house? Did you like eat it
No.
later on or
we,
go to a restaurant?
Yeah. So we couldn't stay in Detroit where everything is open because of the game to get dinner because my brother has dogs and we had to get back home to let them out. And the options in Sandusky, Ohio on Thanksgiving are a lot more limited. So we had a nice Thanksgiving family dinner at the Golden Corral. Yeah. But we had won.
Thank God
so
the
who
Bills
cares?
won, dude.
Yeah.
Do you know how
Otherwise-
sad that Golden
Oh
Corral
my
dinner
God,
would have
yeah.
been if you guys have had a loss just
Yeah.
sitting there?
Yeah, but
What
then we
the
had
fuck did we do this for?
then they had Thanksgiving dinner on Friday night. I went back up to Detroit for a Red Wings game and went to Little Caesars Arena, which is beautiful. Great.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a great new arena. And we had me and my friend Bill. We had the best dinner I've had in Detroit at this place called Prime and Proper.
Ooh, that sounds fucking nice.
If you're
dude.
in Detroit, go there. You're going to drop about $200 a plate, but
You don't care.
It's worth it. It's so good. And they
What'd
have,
you get? Break it down.
I got
for me.
the cowboy ribeye. We got so his old roommate is like the manager there now. So he brought us out all these apps. We had these flash fried lobster tails that were like fried in butter that were amazing. And then we had these Brussels sprouts with the huge chunks of bacon and the
So this made up
peppers.
for the fucking Golden Corral.
Yes, yeah, it was pretty damn good. Their wine list was insane. They had a huge wine room on display. The whole kitchen's open, so you see them cooking everything. All
Did
the
Cassie go
seafood.
too or no?
No, it was just me and my friend. He only had one other. He has season tickets.
What do you want,
He
a
had
fucking
2 tickets.
date, dude? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice
No.
job, bro. Yeah.
But yeah, it was
Cassie's eating
awesome.
fucking Golden Corral leftovers with your parents back at the place.
Yeah, thank you
Sure you
to
like
shout
fucking
out
King
to
Henry.
Matt for getting us a table and getting us those appetizers and Prime and Proper. That was just phenomenal. And so he got this fish. Bill got this fish, and the server comes out and he debones it in front of us, and then he stuffs it with lobster. Like it was a whole show too.
Dude, I love
It's
that.
phenomenal.
Stuff shit into stuff
Yeah,
at the
here's
table in front of me, dude.
Let's put some more lobster on this. Let's put some crab meat on there. And I'm taking the bone out of this fish that was like that big.
Nice. I went to Texas Roadhouse on Sunday. That was it's not a bad second choice, right?
Yeah.
No, we the kids wanted to go, and they had the fun football game, the late games on. So by Sunday, I was like, nobody wanted to fucking cook. I was like, I'm done heating up, I'm done with leftovers. I started salad. I got the fucking chopped salad, and we went from there. But yeah, I have to like stop gorging myself now. But I will be in Chicago in 2 weeks, and I knew about the pizza guy.
Did you
and
hit
I
him
got to
up?
go to Gibson's. No, not yet, but I'm
Yeah,
going
got
to
to connect with him.
And then I'm gonna go to Gibson, so I'll get a steak there. So I'm gonna pace myself out to that, and then pace myself for Christmas. But yeah, I can't wait for the New Year. I'm gonna explode. If I wait for New Year's, Thanksgiving. I drank like so much Bailey's. Like Bailey's is like a milkshake, alcohol milkshake. I'm like falling asleep during the day and stuff. It's crazy. I gotta regulate my body again, get shit together. So. Speaking of that, Chicago, 2 weeks, well, not even a week and a half now. I'll be at Zany's. The Downtown Club Thursday, Rosemont Friday and Saturday night, 2 shows each night, and then Sunday back at the Downtown Club for 1 show. So tickets
There's a really nice mall in Rosemont.
Oh, it's great. I've been there like 100 times.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it is, which it's been probably 5 out of the last 6 times I've gone in December, the weekend of furries, where there's a furry convention.
Oh, at the place across the street?
This. Yes, at the convention center across the street.
Oh my God. When we were there, it was
crossed.
Bert Kreischer the next week.
Oh, at the theater next door.
So we had a very different experience than you'll have.
Yeah, you had guys.
But there were some
off.
sketchy. There were some like Chechnyan dudes when we got in late Thursday night. Like we got in midnight or so, and they're all out in the hallway of the hotel just screaming at each other, and they're packing up and they're going.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, it was like
I'll take that over a guy dressed in a fucking.
It was Barry in real life.
An Elmo costume. Or a squirrel costume, holding hands with a lady in a fucking
Elmo's a different convention.
It's crazy, man. Their costumes are huge, and they stink because they wear them a couple times a year, and they're getting these things dry cleaned.
No.
But it's exciting to watch. It's like a good people watching weekend, especially in the mall. But anyway, yeah, so I'll be there in 2 weeks. So let's do some picks. Oh, and hopefully the Bears don't fucking cancel me out of that fucking show too. I can't even believe it. The Giants are
I've
playing
never
so bad.
heard
it's
of that.
just-
That's kind of
Yeah.
like they owe you something. That's your livelihood.
That's what I thought too. That's what I'm telling them.
You
All
should
right, let's
have
get to
tickets to
some
that
picks.
game, although that's a trip down to Jersey you'd have to take because they don't play.
That's
in
what
New
I'm
York.
thinking. I'm like, in lieu of, can I get some fucking tickets to this game?
Yeah, seriously. All right. Anything jump out to you this week?
Well, a couple things. I mean, look, I'm going to leave it alone, but I like the Giants to win at home. I like it. But if you don't want to do it, I understand if you're thinking I'm betting with my heart. I've got some mind bets that I agree with.
You could always leverage and not bet on your team, so then we don't lose twice.
You know what, dude? It's fine.
I'm not saying like I like the Giants at home. I agree with you, but they could lose twice, and then you're going to be double mad.
I like the Bengals at home on the money line to beat Kansas City. I think
Wow.
Kansas City's going to walk into one of these weeks where they're just not going to have everything together. And I think this is one of their, not trap weeks, but a week where they can have a bit of a stumble.
Well,
I think Vegas
I
or
will
whoever puts
say-
the
I
lines
will
together
say,
likes
Steve,
it too. It's only a 1.5 line.
I got two
And
right now on BetDSI, but I will say Vegas likes it because Jamar Chase, there's been rumors he was going to be back for the last 2 weeks. So he's for sure
Yeah.
back this week, and Joe Mixon's going to be out
He'll
of
be
concussion
back.
protocol. So he's going to have all his
Yep.
weapons, and
Yes.
it's an aggressive, sneaky pick.
The other thing I like is the under on the Cowboys and the Colts. It's 43.5. I like the under on that for sure. Those are my two like head picks. My heart says the Giants are going to beat, but again, we can leave that off because again, I don't want to be disappointed twice.
Well, we could beef up that Colts line to 45.5 and just add it in there.
I mean, I like it the way it is, but I'd like the under on that for sure. I think the Colts are going to try to run the ball. I think the Cowboys get out ahead decently, and then it turns into a thing where Matt Ryan can't run. They can't run the ball. They can't throw the ball, and then the Cowboys just end up running the ball. It's going to be like a 30, about 24 to 10 game, 7 game, maybe 3. So especially if the Cowboys defense shows up. Eesh. So we'll see. But those are my thoughts on this week. Those are the things that stood out to me. What about you guys? What do you got?
Lucas?
I was going to pick the Giants.
Fuck yes.
Well, I mean, if you guys want it, we can do it.
I want it.
I just don't want Steve to be
dude.
double mad. Okay. Let me find it here. So we got the Giants.
I want it. I just didn't want to be the first person to say it.
Do you want to oh, they're getting points. They're getting points at home?
That's what I'm saying, at home.
Did you want them on the money line, or do you want me to buy
money
up to
line,
3
dude?
points?
It's a 1.5. Oh, you could
Okay.
buy up to 3.
I can buy up to 3.
Push.
It's 2.5 right now. I don't want to be on that half. I'd rather be 3, or I'd rather go money line. But 3, I feel good about 3. They could lose by a field goal. Like, it's a close game that they're a better team. They should win.
Well, all their games have been close. They're not going to blow. Like, the Commanders haven't really blown anyone out.
But
and the Giants haven't blown anyone out.
Is Chase Young going to be back? Because that could hurt Saquon Barkley and his chances of having a big game.
That I don't know.
I think he is.
Yeah.
He should be.
So that's probably why the Commanders are getting points. But
yeah, he practiced today.
Do you want to do +3? I mean, we win.
Dude, I like him to win.
Yeah.
I just, never know. Fluke, turnover.
Win, bitch.
Okay. All right.
Money line, motherfucker.
Okay. There's 2 games that really stand out to me. The first being the Pittsburgh Steelers in Atlanta. They're going to win that game. They're a far better team. TJ Watt makes that defense work. And I mean, even with Najee Harris going out, like Benny Snell was running the ball really well. So I think Kenny Pickett's starting to figure it out. George Pickens, they have pretty good chemistry going on. So I think they win that game. And then the other one I really like is why in the hell are the Chargers only a 1.5 favorite playing Vegas? Like they're going to kill them.
I know Jacobs' calf is hurt, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
he
the
may
Chargers
not
have like
he may not play. They're gonna
Yeah.
kill the Raiders. The Raiders are a bad team, and Justin Herbert, look at what he's done with Keenan Allen finally back.
Yeah.
So I don't think that game's even competitive. So give me the Chargers. I'll take them -1.5. They're going to win that by at least a touchdown. But yeah, the Steelers game, we could put that on or take it off. I really like the Steelers. I think they've played really well the last few weeks with Watt back, and then Fitzpatrick is healthy, and they did their job against the Colts.
Pickett looked pretty good. I mean, at times, and him and Pickens seemed to connect a couple times, which is what you want if you're a Steelers fan. All right, so then what do we got now?
That's a lot of picks, but
let's see. Read them down.
And of course, we could always take the Bills on the money line.
That'll be
what are your thoughts? Like,
well, I'm definitely nervous. I don't know the health of Josh Allen's elbow. And it all starts with how well he plays. But then, we're missing Deion Dawkins again. So the offensive line isn't going to be as strong as it should be. And we're missing Von Miller, but we do get Greg Rousseau back. We are going to have Tremaine Edmonds back. So both of our linebackers will be there. And then it just is like, is Tre'Davious White going to play? Is he healthy? Is he not healthy? McDermott said it's like a mental thing, but he only played 15 snaps last week. So I don't know. I think the Patriots are a bad team, but they have the best coach in football, and they play very good on defense because of that.
And they're home.
So if we can stop the run, which we haven't really been able to do so the last couple of weeks, now granted that was due to injuries. If we can stop the run and shut down Stevenson, then I like them to beat the Patriots. But if we can't do that, and we're trying to load the box, and then that's opening up, the wide receivers on the outside. Mac Jones could pick us apart, pick the zone apart. It could be a very close game, and it's only a 4-point. The spread opened at, I think, 5 or 6, and now it's down to 4. So Vegas thinks it's going to be closer. I would just avoid it. I don't want to bet and then double lose, and we shouldn't bet on Thursday games anyway. That's like a rule. I don't think we've ever gotten a Thursday game
leave
right
it alone
in the history of the podcast. But we have Pittsburgh -1. We have the Giants on the money line. We got the Chargers -1.5.
Wait, you have Pittsburgh -1?
Pittsburgh -1.
DraftKings has got Pittsburgh +1.
Yeah, that's why I hate BetDSI. Thanks, California, for not passing Prop 27, because I can't shop my lines.
I'm going to do +1. Hold on. So you got, because I'm going to see what this comes out to for me, because maybe I'll make the bet then. So New York Giants on the money line, right?
Yeah,
Pittsburgh +1. Yeah.
And are you getting -110 on that?
I'm getting -105 on that.
You're getting it. Yeah, you're even getting a better. It's bullshit. Fuck BetDSI. Yeah.
No, okay. I'm getting -110. Sorry on that.
Okay.
+1. Yeah.
I apologize, BetDSI. Don't lock me out of my account again.
What else you got?
Okay, and then we got the Chargers -1.5. We've got the Bengals on the money line, and then we've got the Cowboys and Colts under. Which on this I bought up to 45.5. But if you,
I got 43.5 at -105.
I would buy up a couple of points just in case Matt Ryan turns the ball over and there's a fluke like pick
I don't know how to
6
do that.
There should be an alt line that you can adjust.
4 games?
That
5?
That was 5.
5. So for me, $50 would net us $1,606.36.
And for me, I got an error message. Microsoft JScript error. So I got to put that in again. Sorry. So talk about something amongst yourselves.
All right. You know what they are though, right?
Yeah.
By the way, Lucas,
that's because the lines changed. It does that every time the lines. Now the Pittsburgh game's a pickup. And the Giants money line actually got a little better.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm so sore from football on Thanksgiving. We played, touch, but dude, like running around trying to keep up with high schoolers and stuff. When you think you can, some moves and shit, dude. I'm like everything on Friday. I was like, oh, and I asked my kids, I'm like, you guys sore? They were like, no, not at all. It was like I needed like I want to get like an ice bath, like to go into like one of those ice baths and just sit there. But instead I just drank and ate. So it was good. So what happened to you, Brenton? What do you got here now?
So $50 for the Steelers as a pick 'em, the Giants on the money line, the Chargers -1.5, the Bengals on the money line, and the Colts and Cowboys under. And I bought up to 45.5. $50 will get us 1,353.20.
Go with my thing.
Go with your thing.
Yeah, dude. $1,606.36.
Ooh.
Not a fan of not being able to shop my lines, and I hate
Done.
that the state did not pass Prop 27 for no reason. Player props on here suck too. But it is what it is. At least we can still do fantasy lineups and have fun doing that stuff.
Hold on, I'm putting it in right now. Bam. All right. Anything else you guys want to discuss? Anything else that's happened this week?
Yeah.
The last 2 nights, I've had very intense John Wick is trying to kill me dreams, and I don't know what it means. He's chasing me. I did nothing to his dog. I don't know why he's angry, but Keanu Reeves has been trying to murder me 2 nights in a row, like waking up sweating.
It's because you've enjoying the trailer for John Wick 3 that comes out next year. Have you seen the trailer for 4? I mean, it comes out next year,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Have you been binging that? Have you been watching that?
I watched it once. I haven't watched John Wick in a while. All 3 of those movies are brilliant, but I don't know why. I'm just putting this out there because I know Keanu listens to every episode. I am sorry for what I did. I don't know what I did. If you could let me know, please. I'm sorry. I love all dogs.
Dude, can I tell you something right now? You got to start smoking pot, dude, because you won't dream then. The dreams just go away. You have no more dreams. No more nightmares, no more dreams.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's the price you pay. And it's great because you're smoking pot, so you're fine. You're living a dream. But at night, that's where they don't happen anymore. So just do that.
And got my jingle from Trader Joe's, so I'm all set. Very happy about that.
Oh, one last thing? Can you talk about have you consumed any turkey parm? I've seen pictures.
Oh yeah,
of it.
yeah. Saturday we all had turkey parm at our spaghetti and turkey parm dinner. It was fantastic. It's an annual Biddlecombe tradition, and I know I've been saying it. I will put the recipe. I'll get it from my mother. I will put it on Patreon. So anyone who wants it, it'll be on Patreon. I'll get that.
I'm going to assume it's just chicken parmesan, but take out the chicken and put in the turkey, right? You bread it, you fry it. Yeah. You bake it.
Get the mozzarella.
Right.
Well,
do you have to bake it again?
My dad fries it. This is a frying pan.
The frying pan, but then because it's already cooked turkey, do you have to cook it again? I don't think so. Cutlet parmesan with raw chicken. Then you have to, after you fry it, you got to bake it then.
Yeah, I don't
cook it.
I don't know. I'll get the recipe though, and it'll be up on Patreon. Go Bills.
Right. Bye.
Go Bills.
Thank you very much for joining me. How you been? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Steve Renazizi. I'm the guy.